I've been rejected 43 times by the App Store review team, and I've had enough. And today I'm building a Chrome extension that assists with the App Store rejection process, powered by AI. In my last video, I promised that I would put a link to the app in the description of the video. I'll be putting a link down below when it's approved by the App Store review team. It's been days, and it still hasn't been approved. Each time they find an issue, I fix it. I resubmit it, and they find another issue. Why didn't they just tell me that issue before? Why do we have to do this dance, Apple? The dreaded App Store rejection. It happens in the park. It even happens in the bedroom. I swear that's never happened before. But I thought to myself, am I getting carried away? I've never created a Chrome extension before. Maybe this dream of using AI to help with the app review process is just out of my league. I'm just a little old Swift UI developer with a bit of experience creating vanilla JavaScript, HTML, and PHP. So where do I start? Well, with ChatGPT, of course. How do I create my first Chrome extension? Turns out Chrome extensions are just vanilla JavaScript files. You can also add HTML, CSS, and images. Who knew it was that easy? Okay, so I've built my extension. Let's see how it works. It uses AI to process the messages from the App Store review team, gives you more context, and shows you step-by-step instructions on how to resolve the issue. We load our rejected app, performance, hardware compatibility, and we have an AI Assistant App Store review help button. And there we go. It provides an overview of the issues, steps to resolve, including resources, and some additional tips and information from documentation. The prompt I used was, "You are a helpful AI agent who assists the user with their App Store Connect review process. Provide a dot-point overview of the issues my App Store submission is having from the latest message, with context provided from message history if applicable. Then provide resources and steps on resolving these issues, tips, and any other relevant information. Here is the correspondence." This code here is from my GitHub. It's an OpenAI proxy built in PHP. Link below. Now, all I have to do is submit it to the Chrome Web Store. Are you kidding me? Another review process. I have to go through a review process for an app that helps with review processes. What's worse, I found a bug and I tried to re-upload the Chrome extension, but while it's under review, it won't let me make any changes. So there's now currently a version that will be reviewed and possibly approved that doesn't work properly. It makes the App Store review process look a lot nicer. Hello, it's Adam here, coming to you an hour before this video goes live. Just wanted to point out that the Chrome extension still hasn't been approved by the Chrome Web Store. And also this Chrome extension could be a lot more than just giving a bit of an overview of the app review process. What would be really exciting is to have the ability to automatically localize descriptions and the what's new text between all of the languages for the app. I know that would save me a lot of time. And I think there's some other AI functions that I could add into this Chrome extension. I guess I've never built a Chrome extension before, so I set the bar quite low. And then as I've been thinking about it, I've realized there's a few more features and functions that I can add to this thing. I'll put a link to the extension below and also subscribe because I've got a few more ideas for this thing. Back to the video. But I kid. I do like the Apple Store review process. I might be a bit strange in saying that, but hear me out and you will probably like it too. I remember a day where I created shareware software, and shareware software was just like executables that you put up onto your website. You handled the distribution, you handled the marketing, you handled the search user acquisition channels. You had to do old-fashioned PR. So you had to go to actual physical magazines and actual articles, actual news sources, and say, this is my game. This is my shareware product. And then you hope that they would write an article about it or feature you on the front of the magazine in a floppy disk or a CD. But what you have to remember is there was a lot of bad software out there and there was no real standards. Anybody could create whatever they wanted and release it onto the internet. I mean, it still is the case now. Anybody can create whatever they want. They can create any executable and release it onto the web. But these days, you can use places like the Windows Store, the Chrome Web Store, the App Store, and you can find apps and find extensions and find software that has already been approved by a third party. So by downloading an app as a user, I know that someone has checked over this. Well, I don't know that someone's checked over it, but from my experience using this marketplace, I know the quality of the apps, that when I download something, it's going to do what I want it to do. I can read the reviews, I can post the reviews, and I can find what I want. And this is what was missing many years ago in the shareware scene. The only way we could distribute apps and distribute software through shareware was to give a part of it away for free and hope someone would upgrade. And a lot of the time it was just passed from one person to the next. So the app review process helps to create a better product. And don't forget that fact when next time you get a rejection from the App Store review team. They're trying to increase the quality of your product and make sure it's compliant with the App Store terms so that they're essentially protecting their users. And if their users have more confidence in your app and the users have more confidence downloading your app, then you're going to get more people coming to the App Store to download apps. And yes, the review process is tedious and they leave a lot out of the picture, especially when you're doing it for your first time. This is my first Mac OS app that I've ever submitted, and there's a lot more that goes into specifying the entitlements and some of the processes for submitting the app to the store. It's not as commonplace as just going for iOS 16 or going for iOS 17. It seems that there's a lot of other nuanced sort of functions and nuanced sort of hardware issues that you have to take into consideration with creating these apps. And the review process gives you straight away, hey, you went against term 2.4.5 performance hardware compatibility. Well, what does that even mean? I have to do some research. I have to find out. I have to see what other people are having this specific issue. And that's how today's video came about. Just creating a simple tool for myself to find out what on earth this issue actually is and to get some quick tips and hints on rectifying it. And I look forward to finally getting this app on the App Store for Mac. I don't think it's going to be a huge success. I don't think it's going to be have mass appeal at all. For me, I see this whole journey as incremental learning steps. A week ago, I never built a Chrome extension. A week ago, I never built a Mac OS app. A week ago, I didn't even have a Mac OS app ready for submission onto the App Store. So I try to kind of reframe it in myself and not get too frustrated with the process and have a look to see what are the benefits here and how can I reframe this so I just don't feel like I'm being beaten over the head by the app review team. And I would encourage you to do the same. Each time you get a rejection from the App Store, remember they're trying to make your product better and they're trying to work in the user's interest to keep people coming back to the App Store. I create 2 videos documenting my journey being an indie app developer, following ideas and following just my passion and my dream. Today, I went down the rabbit hole of Chrome extensions. But usually I'm focusing a lot more on Swift UI, app monetization, building apps, developing apps, all of the things in between. So like this video and subscribe.